If the moon landing wasn't real, why has no one ever exposed it? That's the question that stops people in their tracks. Because on the surface it seems simple. If it were fake, surely someone would have spoken up, right? But what if the silence itself is the biggest clue? Picture this. It's 1969. The world is split by the Cold War. America wants to prove it's number one. And suddenly, boom, we're told a group of astronauts traveled 238,000 miles through deadly radiation, landed safely on a dusty gray rock, planted a flag, made phone calls to Earth with crystal clear audio, and came back home without a single issue. Using computers weaker than the one in your microwave. Sounds almost too perfect, doesn't it? Here's where it gets interesting. People assume that if something big were staged, someone would instantly expose it. But think, who could expose it? NASA controlled the cameras, the radio feeds, and every single piece of evidence. The astronauts. They weren't just employees. They were national heroes. Their faces were on stamps. Kids learned their names in school. Imagine the pressure. Could anyone admit it was faked, even if they wanted to? Back then, whistleblowing wasn't seen as brave. It was seen as betrayal. So maybe the better question isn't why hasn't anyone exposed it, but why hasn't anyone repeated it? Why hasn't another country like China, Russia, or Japan sent people back to the moon, especially with today's advanced technology? And why does NASA say they lost the technology and that it's too hard to build again? We can send billionaires into orbit, but we can't rebuild a 1960s rocket. That doesn't sound like progress. That sounds like a mystery. And when you look closer, the details only raise more eyebrows. A flag that waves where there's no air, backgrounds that look identical in different photos, no blast crater under the lunar module, astronauts sweating through interviews, stumbling when asked simple questions about stars. Even Buzz Aldrin once told a young girl, "We didn't go there." He said it himself, not a random internet person. Strange, right? See, once you notice the pattern, it's hard to unsee it. The silence, the missing evidence, the decades with no return trips. It doesn't scream proven science. It quietly whispers controlled story. And maybe, just maybe, the moon landing wasn't just about the Cold War. Maybe it was about controlling a story about where we are, what we are, and what shape our world truly has. A spinning ball floating in endless space, or something much closer and much harder to explain. So where does that leave you? Right here, asking the question you were never meant to ask. Because maybe the reason no one exposed it isn't because it's real, but because those who could never would. And the rest of us, we were told not to question until now. If you want to keep pulling this thread, if you're ready for more stories that flip your whole view of the world, follow this page and watch the next video. Because once you start questioning the moon, the ground beneath your feet starts to look very different. This video is for entertainment purposes.